afternoon.
Good afternoon. Now, welcome to the Muscle of Yarn podcast. It is August 24th.
Yep, it's a Thursday, normal recording Thursday.
Yes. We're back on schedule, kind of.
Yep, we're back in the new store again. We didn't go back to the old store.
No, we did not. And you can see we've moved locations within the store again.
Yeah, because we put backing up on the shelves where we were in the classroom area before.
So we might, move around a little bit till we find the spot.
It's not too bad. We've got a window here. You can't see that
right there.
Here. So we do
there.
have some natural light coming in, which is kind of nice.
And, yarn behind us, and you can see the door. So anytime someone new walks in, you're going to be able to see it on the podcast, which is
so
awesome.
So we might have to find another little corner.
That's not as busy.
Yeah.
But it's a work in progress.
We're going to work on it, and then, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're back.
We're back. And you can find the store on all kinds of social media, Facebook, Ravelry, Instagram, as Muscle of Yarn, World Wide Web, as Muscle of Yarn.
Yep.
And I am Angela.
And I'm Kelly.
And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Instagram as Kelly O Spins, and you can find me on Ravelry as Kelly Spins.
Nice. And I was just I was having this conversation with Kelly before we started podcasting. I literally have no projects that are good on the podcast knitting projects. Socks normally are, but I'm like right in the middle of starting the heel turn, and I was like, I could totally do it. I'm totally gonna mess it up.
You're gonna see her drop it in a minute.
I know, she'd be like, God, because I have to count, so I should probably just walk away while I'm ahead. And just sit here and drink my iced coffee, because that's what I need more of today is coffee. Yeah.
Well, I haven't made tons of progress on things that you guys have seen on the needles.
I know.
But I have 2 finished objects.
I'm so impressed. For us having 2 weeks off, I have shockingly little progress on anything.
Yeah, but you went camping with
I did go
the
camping
kids.
with 2 small kids. There was not much knitting to be found.
You think about it, you're like, oh, it's vacation. We're not doing our normal thing, but it's different because you're out of your routine.
That's true.
And it makes a difference.
And this time, for the first time, we took 2 vehicles, so I had to drive. So normally when we go on trips like this, my husband drives, and so I'm like, yeah, lots of knitting time, and I actually get stuff done. Nope, I had to drive the second vehicle. So, well, I did get look, I'm working on a second sock, and I would say that I have a half-finished object, except I haven't actually even kitchened the toe closed yet. But it's done. Look, it's on 2 double points. Oh, that's the heel. Let's do it the right way so people can tell that it's a sock. It's a little shorty sock, and the the toe just needs to be kitchenered. I was kind of waiting just on the off chance that I did not use my scale properly, and I run out of yarn for the second sock, and I could really easily rip back the toe and just put some other yarn, which is the story that I'm sticking to about why I have not kitchenered that yet. The truth is I just haven't done it, but I'm sticking with it. Can't use the scale properly, because at the rate I'm going, that could be true.
I like the flashing on it. It's kind of bless you.
Sorry for anybody who got that really loudly. Thank you. Hers is fun because I knit a hat out of this, and I got this micro striping for the entire hat, but on the sock, because it's a different stitch count around, I'm getting this flashing, which is what the yarn is. That's what it's called when the yarn does that.
I like it. I think it's
little
cool.
stripes. It is cool because you get both. With this type of sock, I'm getting micro stripes and flashing.
Yeah.
And the other pair of Rose City this is loosely based on Rose City rollers that I have, is become my favorite sock. I wore them all the time when we were camping, and they need to be washed because they're really gross now. But they're perfect.
Yeah.
For shorts and capris, and if you have to wear sneakers when you need socks.
I really want to cast some shorty socks on, but I just have too many other things that I just have to get done first.
Well, and unlike regular socks where you have the leg where there's a lot of knitting, if you're just doing a plain vanilla sock, you have a lot of in the round. This is you know, a couple of inches of stockinette, and then you
Yeah.
have to start the heel flap, which you kind of have to pay attention to, which is why this thing looks the way it does and isn't further along. Because once I get the heel turned, it'll be fine,
Yeah.
right? It'll just.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll have a finished object next week. I don't know, probably not. It's not looking good.
So I have two. And the reason I have two is I am working with a customer of ours who runs a charity, and her charity helps support shelters and rescues.
Oh, cool.
So she raises money every year, usually around Christmas, although I think she's working to kind of broaden that so it's more year round.
Okay.
But I mean, a lot of people think towards the end of the year about donating
Right.
and giving
Right.
back. And so her charity basically does different things to fundraise, and then every year she picks a different shelter or rescue
Okay.
and gives money to that
Oh,
rescue.
very cool.
So she was just thinking of different ways of making money and raising funds for it, and she's a fairly new knitter. She hasn't been doing it for too awful long, but she comes in quite a bit. She lives just up the road, so we started chatting about maybe doing. She had wanted to do some, have people volunteer to knit pieces, and then
Okay.
that could be sold, and all of the money that was raised goes to the charity.
Okay.
So I said, I'd be happy to design some patterns for you
Mhm.
that you could use. So I did a couple different ones, and these are just the prototypes. We're gonna change up a few things. So this little baby hat
That's cute.
that I did, and it's just a simple rolled hat, and then it's got a little dog on it. We're gonna
That's
change
so cute.
the colors and stuff a little bit, so he doesn't look like he has little demon eyes.
Cute little Intarsia dog.
Actually, it's just duplicate stitched right over the top.
Even better.
Since we're gonna have volunteers making them.
Right. So are they just going to make the hats and you're going to get to
So-
sew doggy faces on all of them?
Well, we'll give them the option. I mean, I'll definitely include this on the pattern.
Mhm.
So if they're comfortable doing duplicate stitch, they can very easily do it.
Okay.
Otherwise, they can just knit a very basic hat. I mean, this hat took me no time at all
Yeah.
to do. And then...
Which is the great thing about baby hats.
Yeah, and then if they don't want to do this, then they can just drop it back, the hat back off here, and we'll just finish up the
Very cool.
faces.
Where did you get this?
So that was that one. This is all knit out of blue sky fibers,
They have a nice blue-
wool
Is that full
stock.
stock?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's nice.
which is, so it's a worsted weight. And then
Yeah, that was in the back.
the other one that I did an adult version right now,
That's super cute.
is this paw print, and this is wool stock again. And I'm gonna do a kids version of this too. So this is baby, which could be definitely scaled up to kids. But I think what we're gonna do is just do this one and scale it down for kid size too. 'Cause
Okay.
This is a basic adult size.
Yeah.
So it's got her her logo is actually a paw print.
Oh, nice.
And then the name of her charity.
Wait,
So
I suppose we could also sell patterns and donate proceeds.
So that's what I've been talking to her, and I think what she's thinking is that we're gonna make pieces first, and then
Look at me offering your hard sweat equity.
and then maybe a little bit down the road, towards the end of the season, start offering the pattern for sale, and
Got
then
it.
so people that want to make them for themselves, all the proceeds from the sale of the pattern will go to her charity too.
Cool.
So she's still working that out. I just kind of wrote the patterns for her, and then I'm going to kind of hand it off to
Awesome.
her. And I told her if she was interested in making kits, that we could sell the kits in the store, and the proceeds could go,
Mhm.
to her charity. We're happy to do that for
Yeah.
sure. So that's
Absolutely.
what I've been busy doing, just making up some patterns
Cool.
for her charity. So yeah, so this is just a fun little knit. So. And it was very quick. I mean, I started doing the patterns over the weekend and had
Yeah.
to show her the other day. So
Well, I mean, that's the nice thing about hats is they go
Exactly.
relatively quickly.
yeah,
Even sock weight hats
Yeah.
go relatively
Yeah.
quickly.
they do. I mean, and this is a worsted weight, and I haven't blocked these yet, so they'll look even nicer after they're blocked. But there were a few long carries on the back, but I just wrapped the stitches. So I always love to turn them inside out and look at the pattern because
Yeah.
they show up so cute on the inside too. So
Absolutely.
So it's not bad. I mean, some people are intimidated by color work, but
I mean, that would be a good way for folks to sort of cut their
Yeah.
teeth on a color work project because it's not a huge
Yeah.
amount.
The only, like I said, the only hard part is in between the bottom of the paws and then the top up here. You do have to
Yeah.
make sure you wrap it because I try not to go more than 5 or 6 stitches
Yeah.
before catching that yarn. and
Right.
wrapping
Otherwise,
it.
they're super long floats back
Yeah,
there. They
yeah.
just hang out and cause problems.
Yeah, and that's when you can get a lot of puckering and stuff too. And this one isn't, which is nice. It's
Right,
nice
it hasn't
and
even
flat.
been
and it
blocked
hasn't been
yet.
blocked yet. So anyway, I'll definitely let you guys know when that pattern goes up for sale if anybody's interested in doing that.
Cool.
And like I said, all the proceeds are going to go to her charity, which is it's a 501c3 charity. So
Awesome.
yeah, so that's been fun.
What a great project.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's been a lot of fun.
So I did knit a little bit on clockwork. I don't know if I actually have that much progress that anybody would notice. I think I maybe have I'm in the middle of a row, and I was going to attempt to work on this one, but then I was like, no, that's just asking for trouble. I might actually have one more row than I did when we podcast last. And then I had this thing that happened here. You're not gonna be able to see. The needle caught on a stitch and pulled it out, so it'll block out.
Yeah.
It'll totally
Well, and you
block
can
out.
kind of wiggle the stitches on either side.
You can see it looks
too.
like I have a hole right here.
Yeah.
It's just the
Just
yarn
let it
got
come
caught
up. Yeah.
and pulled out a significant amount. So it'll fix itself, but
Yeah.
every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I dropped a stitch. Actually. So that one kind of has been in a little bit of, it's not really timeout. I just have moved on to other things.
Yeah.
Or just have had like no knitting time. Actually, that's more accurate. I've had like no knitting time. So
Yeah.
haven't been doing that. So you're on a sleeve.
So I'm on a sleeve. So this is really the only other thing that you guys have seen that I've been working on, and I love it because the sleeve. This is a 6 to 12 month sweater size that I'm doing, so I can use the 9-inch haya.
circulars.
And these are US 2s, I believe. Yep, US 2s, 2.75 millimeter needles. So this is I Heart Rainbows by Tin Can Knits. And I am using the Wonderland Yarns Cheshire Cat, and I use some of their mini skeins. And I started weaving in some of the ends. I'm so proud of myself, so that I don't have to do them all at the end. I still have a lot more to do because all of the little rainbow colors are individual. It's not like
Right, a gradient of some sort.
yeah. So it's so cute. I love the colors together.
It's a fantastic looking. So I have a question for you. When you knit the color work on that, they had you go up a needle size?
They have you go up a needle size for the hearts. Yeah.
Okay. How did that work? Because the pattern, the one I'm going to show next, they have you do the same thing for the color work section, and I was kind of waffling about whether I should do it or not. I probably should. I'm a tight knitter.
Really curious to see how it comes out after I've blocked it.
Uh-huh.
So when I knit color work, I'm very conscious of my tension.
Yep.
And I try to leave everything a little bit
Looser. Yeah.
So I think I did that and went up the needle size too. So it, it's a little bit, you can definitely tell there's a difference in the gauge. But I think once it's blocked, it's going to be fine because everything's going to,
So I probably am going to go ahead and go up the needle size because I tend to be such a tight knitter, even if I'm consciously trying to not be a tight knitter, that it might actually, I'm hoping it might reduce some of the puckering I think I get because things are too tight.
Yeah, it's so funny. So this looks like almost there's little puckers on here, but it's almost because there's so much more fabric on here.
Yeah.
Because you do go up that needle size, but yeah, it's so cute. I really am enjoying this little knit, and I finished. I still working on the body when you guys saw it, and this is rolling up. So after it's blocked,
It'll lay down.
it'll lay flat. But you just do a little garter band at the bottom, and then I did all the decreases on this sleeve. So now it's pretty much just knitting it until it's as long as it needs to be. Which I'm not too far out from that, and then I'll just pick up the other sleeve and sew on the buttons, weave in the ends, block the little
stuff is so quick.
It is, except for this is it's fingering weight on small needles, so it's
Right.
fingering weight on twos, US twos.
Right.
So it's still quicker than it would be to do a sweater for myself. But a lot of times, like even when I did featherweight, that was like on 5s or 6s. So
Right. It went faster.
it went faster. But I mean, at the same time, it's rewarding because look at how adorable it is.
That's so cute.
It's just, I'm really, really happy with it. So it's just one of those projects that you do and you just like, oh, I really like it, you know?
I know. I've got one of those. I'm also knitting a baby thing. Some friends of my family, or friends of mine, had a little boy. The parents are huge fish fans / Grateful Dead fans. So I was like, maybe I could incorporate that into a sweater. So why make it easy on myself in terms of knitting something that's already been created? So there were no sweaters that fit that, but I did find a chart. It's called the Dancing Bear chart, and if anybody's familiar with the Grateful Dead Dancing Bears, that's exactly what it is. It was meant to go on a hat.
Yep.
So so the chart's already created, but it's a certain number of stitches. So I'm looking around trying to find a pattern that's kind of close, so I don't have to have it tweaked too much, and also one that I like the look of. So I found this one, which is Anders. It's a very cute little kid's color work pattern, and I like the look of it. I like the shape of it, and it also already has color work integrated in it. So I thought, and it was probably about as close to stitch count in the round as I could find. So the chart itself had 110 stitches, and this one in the size I wanted to make was 120 stitches. So I say I, like me, the royal we, had to add 10 stitches to the chart. So I brought it in because Kelly, I figured she'll know how to do this. And she looked at the chart for the dancing bears and she goes, you could just like cut those apart and slide them, on a piece of graph paper and just do that. And I thought, cool. So we were here Saturday, the grand reopening, and it got a little quiet almost towards closing. And so I started busting out, I started printing graph paper off the internet, and like I was lining the chart up and I was like, ugh.
And I ripped it out of her hand.
Because the graph wasn't the same, right? So I was going to have to decrease one or increase one. Anyway. So I'm standing there staring at it, and Kelly was like, just give that to me. So she
my mom is probably laughing right now because she's like, yep, that's her.
So she redid the chart. I brought the first one, and she printed it off for me.
Jen was hysterical about it.
I was like, dude, I don't need to read it from across the room.
But you can.
I could read this from across the room. So Kelly redid the chart for me. So this is the chart that's going on the bottom of the sweater. This is the actual one.
But then I just printed it out again for you.
And you can tell where my brain space is. I had to write this side up because it's a top-down sweater. So the chart needs to be upside down.
I was like,
I know.
Why are we showing it?
I know. But if I didn't do that, bad things could have happened.
Bad things would have been dancing up.
Bad things have already happened.
Oh no!
I attempted to knit the first row of the chart today. I even went as far as putting the stitch counts. Can you see that? On those empty blocks there, how many stitches those are? I still messed it up.
Oh.
Cannot count. So then I had to rip it back, and then when I was ripping it back, I remembered I was supposed to go up a needle size, so it was fine.
Oh.
So this is what I have done so far.
So cute.
This is the blue is Malabrigo in their Prussia blue colorway. This is the Arroyo, and it's kind of
looking very black.
It's looking very black. It's a very dark
gorgeous
navy blue. It's got a little bit of variegation to it, but not a huge amount. It's pretty solid. And because this is, fish / Grateful Dead, the bears are going to be knit in this rainbow yarn, which is a cotton. It's the Great Adirondack Company cotton DK in like the Sundance colorway or something. What is it? Before I start giving wrong information. Sundance, look at that.
Look at you go.
So I was hoping to like have some of it knit up so you could see it, because it's just gonna pop.
It's gonna be really
Pop.
cute on there.
But was not meant to be, because I can't count. So, sorry. Maybe next week. So this is pretty good because I cast this on like Sunday.
I love
Sunday? Yeah, Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, Sunday.
You're so long. I love color work because once you get the first row established, then you
It's
can just
easier to
work off
tell.
of that because you
Yeah.
know exactly where you're adding your next stitches.
So this has this great little like button thing in the back, which you can, the pattern says it can be worn in the front or the back. So it's kind of reversible depending on which direction the parents want to put it. So you guys know what's coming next, right? Buttons and ribbon. Seriously.
We were having that conversation on Saturday.
I was being mocked for my...
You were not by me though.
No, I know. I was being mocked over my ribbon buying.
I do the same thing though.
I'm gonna look through my ribbon and button stash.
Jen would be so proud of you.
Yes. I am going to look through my stash before I buy anything or order anything, though I may or may not have favorited a few things on Etsy.
This would be perfect.
Just saying.
Some little rainbow bears.
Little
That'd be
rainbow bears.
adorable.
I actually could not find there. I found the dancing bear ribbon, Grosgain ribbon.
That's cool.
Not the same thing for buttons, but I thought,
Even like the little round ones that we have here, you could do just different colors, pull from the braid. And those would be
I was thinking either doing that or like maybe Katrinkles could make me some with the little bear face on them.
maybe.
I don't know.
Depends if it's still a copyrighted thing or not.
It probably is. I don't know. We do have the little rainbow buttons, which is probably what I will end up using because when push comes to shove, this is a gift for somebody else.
Right.
So calm down, crazy lady. With the Etsy purchases already.
Yes, we have some acquisitions to share.
Oh
with you
my!
today.
I'm almost embarrassed about the acquisitions. I had to bring them in their own bag, giant bag, canvas bag.
I meant to grab some of our new yarns too because our new fall yarns are starting to come in, and we've got some really, really gorgeous ones. And maybe what we'll do is
We could just take a little break and reorganize
Yeah.
our stuff and then come back since I'm getting really good at editing. It only took me 50 episodes.
you know.
You know. We could totally do that.
Yeah, because we've got some really cool yarns that have come in that we can share with you guys. Some are brand new, like for the fall, and some we've gotten just some new colors in.
That would be cool.
So,
It's my little sheep bag.
oh, is that the one that your primrose
Tika bags. No, this is
kit
one.
came in?
This is.
Oh, she did do those.
This is one that I bought because I thought it was super cool and totally forgot that my primrose kit came in a bag that was also vinyl.
Yep.
I just liked it because it was see-through and there's sheep on it. What's not to like about that? So
Nice.
I got, yes, this was from Rhinebeck last year. So anywho, should we take a small short break and gather up?
And we're back in piles and piles and piles of yarn to show you guys.
Kelly has piles, I just have this.
It's okay.
I know.
Well, I ordered it all, so I know
I know.
I can blab on about this yarn for a long time.
I'll start with this one. We've got the Arnie and Carlos line of Regia. Or Regia. Sorry, my German tongue is not working. I'm shocked in Meyer.
Those are the perfects. So they start with a big long string of yellow, and then when you get to that, you pull the yellow out, and then you cast on, and then halfway through the skein is another band of yellow. So you finish your sock, and then you pull until you get to that next band of yellow, and then you start knitting with that, and then your socks will match exactly.
So this is for people who can't have non-matching socks.
Right.
They've set it up so you can have matching socks.
Yep.
However, if your gauge changes during the project, they cannot be held responsible for that.
Thanks for the disclaimer, Attorney Angela.
It must be said. So this is what it looks like, and there's the yellow string you can see on the outside, and that's cool because I was wondering what that yellow
Like,
why they all had yellow. I was like, well, that's weird, whatever. And these are the colors that we have. Sorry, I'm holding them upside down. Yeah, that's good. With the feet, so you can
and they're
see
selling
them
quickly.
all.
This one, I think we have one skein left of, and
Yep.
this one's selling really quickly too.
Yep.
But there's some great colors for guys too. Like both of these would be
yeah.
really great for guys, and this one too.
Yep. So in the way that these work, if I understand, we can't get more of these colors, right? After a certain point.
Yeah, I think so. So it depends. They keep their lines for a while, and then they re-release them. And for a while, we can. I think I have to double check with these guys. Some companies you have to buy the entire colorway grouping again, and then after a while you can buy them individually. So I'm not sure with these guys what they are, because we just brought in Chuckameyer, the Regia. So I will check on that, and if we can reorder some of the colors just individually, I will definitely do that.
It's my fan of feet.
But they are on our website.
Yes.
They're for your fan of feet. And and
I'm comic relief today.
if you search for any of the words Regia, Perfect, Arnie and Carlos, any of those things, they should come up. So
is that actually Arnie and Carlos on the label?
That's Arnie and Carlos.
Look, Arnie and Carlos are on the label.
Yes, they are.
There they are.
With their cute little dog. I forget their dog's name. But they've got some funny YouTube videos too, so check that out too if you're into that. They have little projects and tips and techniques and things. So
cool. So that new in the shop.
So we have lots of new fall yarns I'm so excited about. Some of these are new to us. Some of them are new for the company. The Tuscan Tweed, I think, has been out for a while now. So this is Berbero Tuscan Tweed, and it's a nice worsted weight yarn. Sometimes tweeds have not a great hand to them. You know, they can be a
like
little
chalky
squeakier,
almost.
weird to knit with.
Yeah, they're weird feeling.
But this is not. This is really lovely. This is 65% wool, 25% viscose, and 10% mohair, and that mohair just kind of softens it up a little bit. So there's just a couple of the colors that we have. So check out the Tuscan Tweed if that's something that you're interested in. It's worsted weight, and let me give you some yardage and other information. 50 gram skeins, 120 yards per skein.
It's pretty good.
So that is those, and they're really, like I said, we've got some great colors, and they're going to start releasing more and more pattern support for these. So if you like to knit from patterns specifically designed for a specific yarn, keep your eye out for that. And Berero's great. A lot of times they do at least a couple free patterns when new yarns come out too. Then sticking with Berbero, they also have a brand new yarn called Quechua, and that's what it looks like. So if you're wondering how to pronounce it, it's Quechua, and it is so amazingly soft. It is a sport weight yarn, and these are just a couple of the colors that we have.
Got beautiful colors. Great, like fall, like the fall palette.
Yeah, there's some really gorgeous colors. They're 50 gram skein, 164 yards, 60% extra fine merino, 20% baby alpaca, and 20% yak. So it's super, super soft. And all of the colors, I didn't grab two of the brighter colors, but one of the reasons that they look a little more subdued is yak fiber won't take dye.
Oh.
So they're all going to have a little bit of a duller tone to them because the yak does not take dye.
So it tones down whatever colors they put on it.
So even the brighter colors that we've got like kind of a magenta-y pink color. It's still quite subdued, and but of course the yak lends incredible softness to these. These are really, really soft, and they do have a pattern book out, which has some great patterns in it. So that's Berbero Quechua, and that's sport weight. This is a brand new yarn for the company. Brown Sheep Company has come out with Prairiespun DK. This is 100% DK. 100% DK. It is 100% DK. It's 100% wool, and it's a DK, And for a long time, it was a little bit challenging finding 100% wool in a DK that was, a really good affordable yarn. I didn't tell you prices on these. Let's see if I can remember. I think the Quechua is $11.99. It's right around $12. The Tuscan Tweed, I think they're $10.99.
And the Arnie and Carlos
they're $17.50.
Yeah.
The Prairiespun DK, I'm pretty sure these are $8.99.
They are, because I was just looking at them. So yes, I will
you
confirm $8.99.
So, which is great because they have a lot of yardage. They are, where is it?
220.
They're 256, 100 gram skeins, and they are DK weight.
Huge.
So a lot of yardage for a great price, and it's 100% wool. It is not a super wash wool, but a lot of people have been looking for yarns that are 100% non-super wash wool, and we've got some really great. We've got a lot of the natural tones. We've got a couple different grays.
It's a beautiful charcoal gray over there.
Yeah, there's a natural black, a natural, black. We've got this really lovely indigo blue, which isn't showing up great in here because we've got that big window behind us, so we're kind of getting backlit. And we've got a really pretty brick red that is coming. It hasn't come yet, but it's on back order, and we will have that too. But they have a lot of really lovely colors. So this would be great for a sweater if anybody's looking for that in a DK. So that's a great
nice.
yarn.
That's a very pocketbook friendly yarn.
It really is. Yeah. And so is the next one that I'm going to show you guys. We now stock Loki.
Yay!
So right now we just brought in the Let Loki, which is the worsted weight. We didn't bring in any of the other weights at this time, but we've got a whole bunch of colors in these. So this is a worsted weight, and it's 109 yards and 50 gram skeins, and I believe they're $5.50 a skein. So
good value.
They're quite reasonable, and they're really great if you want to do some color work because the skeins are 50 gram skeins.
Right.
You don't have to get a whole huge skein to do just a bit of color work. So these are just two of the colors. We've got a lot of neutrals, so we've got oatmeals, charcoals, naturals, browns, some really great neutrals, and then we've brought in some really fun bright colors to do some color work in too.
So, and those would also pair really well with, say, like the wool stock, right? So we have the wool stock skeins that are 150 grams in the solid neutral colors, but then to be able to add some of these colors as well.
The wool stock is definitely softer, but it's a little bit. It's, I think $2 more per skein. So those are $7.50. These are $5.50.
Yeah.
And the wool stock is definitely softer than the Loki. I mean, this is Icelandic yarn. It's
right.
It is. It's a little scratchier, but it's awesome for outerwear, for big heavy sweaters.
Yep.
So it's a great yarn. Anybody who's worked with it, I mean, you know what it is. But it's a great workhorse, wears really well.
Yep.
So that's
those are those fancy sweaters you see that have been handed down for generations. A lot of that's Lopi.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Or Lopi
yarn.
style yarn.
Yeah. So that's all the new yarn that we've got for now. But actually, there's boxes sitting over there.
That's the new yarn that's been unpacked.
Yeah. There's a bunch of yarn waiting for me to check it in. Next week we'll have even more to show you,
and some really fun new kits that just arrived in. So
some really cute stuff for kids.
Yeah.
Oh, and kits for making cashmere cowls.
Yeah.
From Jade Sapphire. So this time of year, I find that a lot of people, especially when they're starting to think about holiday knitting, kits are great to give to a knitter who, for a present, just give them the kit. Yep. But they're also great because you can grab them and all you need to add are needles.
Grab and go.
And so they're, quick, usually smaller scaled down projects. Oh my gosh. So the sales rep was here for Jade Sapphire and she showed me, she had one of the cowls knit up. It is so amazingly soft. So I can't wait to show you guys that yarn.
Well, and get a sample knit up so people can touch it.
Yeah, because it'll knit up so quickly. Yep. And it's amazing. It's pricey, but it's cashmere, so it's a luxury, and it is just to have it. I tried on the one that she had. Oh my gosh, it was really? So soft. I was like, I don't want to take this off. So we are gonna have those too. So keep an eye out on the website, because those will be going up on the website before we even get to our next podcast.
Yep.
So.
Yep, but we'll show you all of them next week.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So.
We have lots of our own
acquisitions
too.
Oh, it's been so bad. So bad. So earlier, was it May? Round Mountain Fibers was having a Kickstarter campaign to help build a new dye studio, and both Kelly and I contributed.
We did. So Monica is down in the Brattleboro area, and we sell her yarns here in the store, which I have to put another big order for.
I turned the heel. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not picking up the stitches. I'm done, but at least the heel's turned.
So I ended up. We both backed her Kickstarter.
Yes,
I'm just gonna keep on going.
Keep going. Don't mind me.
And I got her gradient set, which was 3 skeins of yarn that kind of pair together. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna not show up great on here. So this one has kind of all of the colors in it. It's got kind of a pretty teal to purple to kind of a really nice sapphire-y blue to black, and it's got some charcoal in there too. And then this one basically doesn't have any of the blues in it. It's the purple, the gray, and the black. And then this one doesn't have the teal in it. So, they'll work really, really well together in a fun project.
And thanks to Kelly, I actually now know what I bought as a part of the Kickstarter campaign.
There, that's better. I'll just block us out for a minute.
That's fine.
So.
Pretty yarn.
Yeah, really pretty.
So I also have the gradient, which I'm so embarrassed. So this box showed up at my house, and it was stuffed full of yarn, and I was like, what did I do? I did not remember buying this much yarn. And so it showed up, and then I was like, I have no idea what I bought. Why is there so much yarn in here? So apparently I also got the gradient, which Kelly had, so I was able to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I get it. Look, these 3 go together. Gradient. I also have some extras. There's a few of these in the box. All in the same color. I have a sweater's quantity.
Maybe a dress quantity if she puts the other ones all together too.
It's totally possible.
You could do the top out of that and then just do
I could make a tunic. An ankle-length tunic out of all this. Look at that. It's ridiculous. I don't know what happened. Apparently, I need to delete my credit card out of PayPal. There's definitely a sweater's quantity, and maybe enough for a sweater for my small child as well.
Cool.
I've eyeballing, because this is very variegated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are fingering weight. Her fingering weight skeins. It's 100% superwash merino. It's 400 yards, 100 gram skein.
I'm eyeballing this pattern from Green Mountain Spinnery. It's their Hatteras cardigan. It's a very simple, plain, straightforward cardigan. When they were here this weekend for their trunk show, I watched like 5 different people try the sweater on, all with different body types. Looked totally fine, and the same size fit all of them. It was like the magic sweater. I don't know how that works. But this is for fingering weight yarn, and I think that's the gradient. We're not going to knit out of the gradient, but this type of variegated yarn I think would look really spectacular, because then the yarn would be the showstopper.
Yeah, because it's just a plain stockinette. It's similar to featherweight, but it's a little bit different. Yep.
So that's maybe what's going to happen with this yarn.
Cool.
But then I found some other yarn in my office. My actual office, not the yarn store, because yes, we know there's yarn at the yarn store. Yarn everywhere.
Yarn everywhere.
Nobody show this episode to my husband, okay?
So speaking of Green Mountain Spinnery.
Oh yeah.
They put together some great kits. I know. So they put together some great kits too, and they brought a lot of yarn that we don't necessarily stock, or that they don't sell to wholesale.
Yep.
So I got, this is the Expressionist shawl, and a picture of it. So it's kind of a stripy, it's big, it's a big shawl.
So she got the Expressionist and I got the Mercury Rising shawl, which looks like that. since we're showing pictures.
And then I got well, it's a couple. So the Lana is this guy, which is it's 100% fine wool, and it's a 2-ply soft white yarn. And then the hand painted one is Meadow, which is fine wool and mohair, so it's just a bit softer.
I don't know what's happening over here.
So these are the ones that are going to be striped together. So obviously the gray is going to be kind of the main color in it, and then this really pretty hand dyed one is going to be. So a friend of one of the owners lives right down the road, and she does all of the hand dyeing, and I actually have her card too. So maybe we'll do a trunk show because she has her own yarn dyeing company. So
awesome.
We might do another show with her at some point too if
Cool.
I reach out to her.
So, and this should shock no one. When I saw these in the bag, I was like, if they're still there at the end of the trunk show, they're going home with me.
They're gorgeous.
And so this is their Simply Fine. It's 40% kid mohair, 60% wool.
It's a single, so it's really soft and buttery.
So that's going to become that Mercury Rising shawl. It's not a cowl shawl. But I mean, it's purple. How could I not buy this? It was just asking to be purchased. So beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that happened.
Yeah.
That
so
totally
I have
happened.
only one other acquisition, which I told you guys about this, but then I forgot to bring it in. So this is, I caught the Legacy Fiber Arts, their Halloween update.
Oh, yeah.
The Nightmare Before Christmas one. So I brought in the yarn that I got from this. So this is their DK weight base, which is 245 yards, 100 grams, and this is the Mayor colorway, which is really pretty.
That is
Purples
beautiful.
with like the pops of
Like rust color
the rust.
almost.
So it's so funny. So this is kind of almost the opposite of sweater weather.
Yes.
Well, we both got sweater weather one, the very first one, and so that purple is more the darker purple. When they did 2.0, that was a little bit more magenta leaning, a little pinker.
The purple in there looks suspiciously like Harold's purple crayon.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a little darker than that, but I just thought that was really, really pretty.
Yeah.
I think I might do a hat out of it.
That is cool.
Oh, because I just got, so LL Bean was just doing a 20% off sale, and I wanted to get, I've got a down coat, but it's one of the really, really big puffy ones.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get one of the really lightweight
lighter weight
ones,
one, yeah.
which they're incredibly warm, but they're really lightweight.
Right.
And
You don't look like this.
Yeah, exactly. So we have LL Bean credit cards, so we get the points. So we had a whole bunch of points all saved up. So I was like, a coat for $9 because they won't let you
Use the whole thing.
Yeah, so.
Unlike Amazon, that
So I would have had it was like $9 and something cents. So rather than just like putting another one towards it and just using it, which would have been fine, I didn't care. They don't let you do that. So I got a coat for like
that's awesome.
$10.
There may or may not be some mannequins on their way to my house, paid for with points.
They're great. Points are great. But so it'll be nice. So and that I have to look though. But so that coat
is which color?
It's like a really
purple
deep
color?
purple, but it's more of a sapphire purple, and the zipper is like an orange.
Oh, would be perfect.
I know. So I don't know if this will work with it or not, but I'm kind of curious.
Would be close enough.
It would be like a perfect brand new winter hat, and I wasn't even thinking about that when I ordered the coat.
That's amazing. I love it when that works out.
I know. I'm so excited because I think it'll be fun. Because I knit hats for everybody like all the time, and I'm not so good about keeping them because they're so fast and fun to give away.
So I have some yarn in here that Kelly actually gave me for my birthday, and I've been trying to figure out how much of this other stuff I could pass off as Kelly gave this to me for my birthday.
I was so generous.
I know, right?
Like, oh, Kelly gave it to me. It's okay.
So Kelly, I don't know if this was mine or yours. I threw them both in there. So this was one of the Legacy Fiber Arts.
So it was so funny.
Skein of Thrones.
Yeah, and when that skein came, as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is totally Angela. This is not me.
Yeah, it's like pinks and grays.
Because I don't do a lot of like the reds and the pinks and that kind of color. I like them. But as soon as I saw them, I had this other yarn that I thought would be really cool with it. And whether Ange wants to use it together or not.
I'm trying to figure out how to be able to use all of this in a project.
Yeah.
There's got to be some sort of stripey project out there somewhere. I think it would look fantastic.
Yeah, I thought so too, because I thought of that yarn as soon as that
bags
skein
are
came
getting
in.
glitter. But
Yeah.
anyway, so this, I would have shown this 2 weeks ago, but fast-fingered Abigail was here, and this yarn would already be halfway across the store and unraveled.
Yeah.
So birthday presents and perhaps some of this other stuff. Kelly loves me. I don't know that my husband would buy it.
Some of it maybe.
Some of it
but
maybe.
I don't think
So,
all of it.
My last set of acquisitions. Though, in my defense, at least one of these is going to be a knit-along prize. For some knit-along. I haven't decided whether it's the Rhinebeck cable along or for some one in the future. So, weigh in on which of these you think you might like a chance to win as a prize. So these are Japanese knot bags from Utterly Adorable Knits, and if you have not been out to see her Etsy shop, I would highly recommend it. Very well crafted. I haven't even taken these out of the bag because they've been hiding, because I have a 6-year-old, and when a package shows up, I have to hide it quickly.
Because he says, "Is this for me?"
Oh, it's just more yarn. And then he tells everybody, and I'm like, oh, stop. Stop spilling my secrets. Anyway, so this is a Japanese knot bag. Those are skeletons that happen to glow in the dark. What? Glow in the dark. All of her Japanese knot bags are lined, and so it's reversible. There's a purple fabric on the inside,
That's cool.
so you could use it in either direction. And it comes, let me see if I can, sorry about the crinkling, guys. There's a little wooden Kitchener stitch reminder in there as well. So there's this bag. There is also the strawberry shortcake Japanese knot bag, and there is the rainbow tie-dyed Japanese knot bag.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So one of them will become a prize. I haven't decided which one yet because I can't decide which ones I want to keep. So weigh in. This is your opportunity to weigh in.
That's right.
We'll take a poll. Maybe the one with the most votes, unless it's the glow-in-the-dark one. I really think that one I'm keeping. Well, I don't know.
So strawberry shortcake,
Strawberry shortcake. Well,
rainbow tie-dye.
I could be talked out of any of them.
Yeah, well.
Because then I'm like, no, it's for the podcast. It's not for me. It's for the podcast. It's not like I don't have 800 bags at home. Anyway. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think that's the end of our acquisitions.
Is it?
Our gluttony.
Yeah, our gluttony.
What else do we have to talk about? We've got a couple events. Not for a while, but
We have one event coming up, which I just informed Kelly about today. And I'm still working out the details. So this event is called When the Cats Are Away, the Mice Will Play. So September...
Or the mouse.
The mouse. September 14th through 16th. Kelly is away. So that's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think you're gone Sunday too, but usually don't work Sundays.
Right. I'm going to the Webb's retreat.
I know.
So if any of you are going to the Webb's retreat, let me know. My mother-in-law got it for me for a birthday Christmas present.
Nice.
And we're going together.
Nice.
So it's exciting.
So, all I can say is I'm going to be here. Jen and I are going to be here working at the store at various days. I will be here on Thursday of that
And
week.
Saturday.
And Saturday. Jen will be here Friday. And her normal Sunday. Watch for special flash sales or promo codes to be used for money off or swag when you come in the store during those days.
When I come back in on Monday, I'm going to be going,
Yes, she will. Exactly. So, Kelly make that face when she comes back on Monday. She's going to be like, I'm never going away again. Never. So stay tuned as I work out the details of the When the Cats Are Away, the Mice Will Play. That's all.
excellent.
Yep.
So we have our Rhinebeck trip coming up too.
Yes. October
21st. We are taking a big, cool bus to Rhinebeck, and it's about a 4-hour trip down.
I'm laughing because if the September event goes well, there will be another one in October.
And I'll be like, I'm not staying. I'm not going to Rhinebeck.
Because I will be here. I'm not joining everybody for Rhinebeck. I'm staying here. I will be working at the store Friday and Saturday of Rhinebeck weekend. So, and then I may be asked to leave and never work at the store ever again.
Not unsupervised anyway.
Who let this lady into the store?
So yeah, we are taking a big bus down.
Big old bus.
And we still have seats available, so if it's something you're interested in, tickets are $75. That gets you your bus fare, it gets you your ticket into the festival, and it gets you a light breakfast. So we've got a lot of our great regulars who are coming with us too, and some new faces that we've gotten to meet. So we're really, really excited about that. And
I will probably be the one doing your send-off Saturday morning at the Park and Ride in Virgins.
At the very early morning.
At the very
early.
Yeah, 7's not really that early.
But for her, that's not early.
Really
She's up and out.
Oh.
That's when she starts work on
A lot of times.
day. Yeah, she's unbelievable. I don't know how she does it all.
I'm not sure either. I don't think I sleep that much. I drink lots of coffee. So I will be the one sending you off, giving somebody the packet of tickets and other goodies. So
yeah, so it's going to be a really fun event. Think 8 hours of uninterrupted knitting. Actually, 4 hours, and then festival, and then another 4 hours.
Can I ride the bus that day?
Well,
no.
maybe.
We're keeping the store open because we know it's prime time crafting season for folks.
And we've got a lot of people who are visiting the area from out of town. That time, because the leaves
foliage-y
are it's kind of getting late foliage by then. Although it's been staying warmer and warmer later in the year. So, but yeah, so Angie's gonna be here.
I will be here.
But we're gonna have representatives.
There will be fun things happening that weekend.
Yep, and so I'm going to Rhinebeck. Jen, our other business partner, is going, and Carol's going.
Yep.
So I'll be going to the podcaster meetup. But
Kelly will be representing.
That's right. So, but we'll talk about that when we get closer to Rhinebeck. So if you guys want to meet up, then we can do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's
it. And so our knit along.
Thank you to all of our returning viewers.
We should tell people about our knit along though.
Oh.
Because that's part of Rhinebeck too.
Yeah.
So we do have one knit along going on right now.
Cable along.
It is the Rhinebeck Cable Along, or Cable Along to Rhinebeck, or something like that. I don't remember what we named it. But it's up on a Ravelry. We've got the chatter thread and the finished object thread. Yep. Basically knit, crochet, anything with cable.
With a cable. Doesn't have to be a sweater. It could be hat, mitts, scarf,
socks.
Cowl, socks.
Can be a sweater.
Skirt. I don't know.
Yeah.
Use your imagination.
And so you're going to have extra entries if you use yarn that you've purchased from here, Must Love Yarn.
Yep.
And you also will have extra entries if you post a picture of yourself wearing your finished garment, accessories, etc. on Rhinebeck Weekend.
I could probably also be talked into giving you extra entries if you come into the store wearing whatever it is that weekend. If you can't go to Rhinebeck, so
and you're local, or you're just in the area,
or you're in the area, so
yeah.
So now I get to do my spiel.
Now you can wrap it up.
Thank you for all of our returning viewers. We hope that you enjoyed our podcast. And if you are new, it is always like this. This is totally normal. We are so glad that you were able to spend time with us.
Yeah, we really enjoy it. And thank you for all your comments that you've been leaving for us.
So much fun.
And
we're on iTunes.
Yeah,
at least I hope we're on iTunes. I'm still figuring out how to do the transition. So sometimes the YouTube video goes up and then there's kind of a delay until I can get my act together to get it over to iTunes because it's a different process.
Yeah.
So bear with us.
Yeah, you can always find us either on iTunes or our website.
Yes.
We do upload to those two places.
Yep.
And as always, I'll try to get show notes on a reasonable time.
Yeah.
And we do put those up on our website.
Yep.
But I always link in the little down
YouTube
bar thingy where you can find our show notes. So
Exactly.
you click on that and it'll take you right to show notes. So if there's anything here, I have to remember all the yarns that we showed so I can link to all of those.
Yep.
And do that.
Yep. So, till next week.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
See you later.
Bye.